welcome to Weird Careers. I'm your host, E.T. All over the world, people have jobs, and some of those jobs we don't even know exist. There are jobs that we don't know a lot about, and there are jobs that we just don't talk about. Well, I'm here to explore all of the above on this podcast. Join me as I explore careers from all over the globe, everything from specialized retail to sex work. Did I mention that we're 18 plus? Throughout the course of this podcast, we will take a deep dive into each of these interesting professions. Do you know someone who has a weird or interesting job? Maybe you do. Believe it or not, your job may actually be more interesting than you may think. So don't be shy and shoot me an email at weirdcareerspodcast@gmail.com. This podcast is brought to you by Cardinal Images. Do you dream of having your small business looking as great as the big guys without paying a fortune? You're not alone. Here at Cardinal Images, that is our specialty. So shoot us an email at eric@cardinalimages.ca today for your personalized quote. Or visit our website at www.cardinalimages.ca for more information. Cardinal Images, affordable pricing, professional images, and personable photography. On today's show, we have in studio Foxy, I did that in air quotes, Roxy Talbot, who is a food truck owner here in London, Ontario. Roxy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. So let's go back a little bit first, before you started with the food truck. You used to be a staffing clerk at LHSC, also known as the London Health Sciences Centre. That's quite a change in career paths. What happened there to make you want to change gears?
Unfortunately, it was time for a change, and the food truck called Mamo's came up. It was an opportunity that I saw, and I thought it was always a dream to run my own little restaurant, so I jumped in with 2 left feet.
Right on. So was there like a trigger or something that kind of happened, or was it just, you know what, I'm kind of fed up with what I'm doing and I just want to go on to something else?
No, it literally was just an opportunity. Long short of it is I happened to turn down Elizabeth Street and there was a for rent sign in the window.
Nice.
And I just felt like it was a sign from God.
Nice. It's always nice when it works out like that. Mm-hmm. It was like that when we moved to this house, actually. I was driving home from work, and I saw a coming soon sign. And then I got home, and I said to Shar, I was like, you know how funny it would be to move down the street? Here we are. It's a 2-minute walk from the old house. It's so funny. There are obviously growing pains going from one career to another very different one. What were some of those growing pains?
Oh my goodness, there were a lot. Well, it was hard, I had to work 6 days a week, 12-hour days. Learning, I hadn't actually been in a restaurant working in over 20-some years. So, learning your rhythms and how everything works. And, I said one of our funniest stories is on opening day, none of us knew how to turn on the fryers. So Here we are opening our soft opening day and couldn't even do French fries.
Oh, my God.
We couldn't get the fryers on.
That's so
funny. So, you have to learn.
Definitely. Was anything else kind of like that when you started?
No.
Just the fryers?
Well, and cleaning the grill. Oh, my goodness. That is, that poor thing. I used to cry every night. I don't think I ever did have to clean a grill in my life. So.
Oh, jeez. So here you are, opening day, and the grill needs a clean, and I don't know what to do.
Yes, YouTube. Thank God for the internet. I don't know what I would do without that.
YouTube has changed how we interact in so many different ways now. It's incredible. I learned how to change a car light bulb via YouTube.
Yes.
So thank you, YouTube, for allowing me to change the light bulb on a Ford Taurus. Do you have an average day at the restaurant, or is it kind of different every day?
It can be different every day.
what would like from opening to close, like what would let's just say a general day, like if you had a regular flow of traffic, what does a day look like in the life of Foxy Roxy?
Well, you're prepping, you set up, cooking. You have potatoes to do, burgers to make. Yeah, and as far as customers, you just don't know when they're coming, and so it can be sporadic and it can be crazy.
For sure. So where you are, because you're located, we'll get all the info and make sure it's linked in the description so we get people visiting you, of course. Now, because of your location, do you find that the customer base can be tricky, challenging?
Oh, for sure.
So for people who don't know, Roxy is located pretty much right downtown London. I think she's like squeezed in between two of those needle injection sites. London has a huge homeless problem and drugs and drug addicts and recovering drug addict here in London, and Roxy's right in the middle of it.
Yes.
What's that like?
It's really hard. Just this year alone, there's been over 12 people that I have interacted with over the last 3 years, and they're all gone now from overdose. And
Oh my goodness.
and you get to know them, you get to know their stories. Everybody has a story, and that's one of the hardest parts of the job.
Yeah, I bet. Do you have with your location? Do you have issues like on site? Do you have break-ins?
Needles, garbage. Oh my goodness, the garbage is one of the most frustrating things because unfortunately a lot of them do not clean up after themselves.
Ooh.
And I come to work and there's stuff everywhere and encampments, right across from my business. And
Oh, geez.
yeah, so it's...
Has that been acting like a deterrent, or?
See, I honestly can't answer that because it's been there since I've been there.
That's
so
true, yeah.
I don't know if that wasn't there, if it would impact.
Interesting.
You can't really... I know different people would come, like I've met a lot of great
demographic,
people.
Yeah.
They have children and they just don't bring their children down there,
I mean, it's in that area, it's understandable. But your food is to die for. We're actually gonna just throw in another question here. Tell us about your food. Tell us about your menu, your Foxy Roxy menu. Is that your menu? Was that handed down from the business? And if it's your menu, how did you get these recipes? How did you make this?
There were things, obviously French fries, poutine, burgers. I added chicken to the menu.
Nice.
Sausage and hot dogs. They're all obviously general for a food truck. And for me, it's about the specials.
Yeah.
It's about, creating the Newfie poutines, the fry supreme, they love Sloppy Joe poutine.
Yep.
Just creating things that people come just for those and love it. So yeah, that's important.
Of course it is. Of course it's important. Now, the big C, not the big C that everybody's thinking. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected everyone in so many different ways. The way we live, to the way we eat, just to the way we are nowadays. We will have a whole generation of people who will know nothing of what life was like before COVID-19.
No.
So how has that how did that impact your business?
I think in the beginning, we actually did very well because people were supporting local, and obviously having good food was a bonus to keeping people coming back. But yeah, I think because a lot of people wanted to support local and in our community. So where I am, we're called Old East Village, and we are a very strong community, and we all support each other.
Awesome.
So I think that we did well, considering
Having that community has been very important in
yes.
your business's survival, I'm guessing then.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are reaching the halfway point. So at this point in time, we are going to take a quick break just to hear from a from our sponsors. Don't go away. We will be right back. Are the big corporations taking your sales with fancy images that just aren't in your small business budget? Not to worry. At Cardinal Images, we take everything to heart. We are a small business supporting small businesses, so we understand. Check out www.cardinalimages.ca for our galleries and contact info. Also, if you are a listener to this podcast, you will receive not only your demo images, but your first shoot absolutely free. Just email Eric at cardinalimages.ca with the subject line Podcast Promo to receive your free shoot today. Cardinal Images, affordable pricing, professional images, and personable photography. Welcome back to Weird Careers. We're here with Foxy Roxy Talbot, who is a food truck owner of Mamo's Fries here in London, Ontario. Welcome back from the break. So your place, obviously you have to load up on supplies.
Yes.
Now, do you have a supplier or do you have to outsource all this stuff yourself?
I do it all myself.
Oh, wow. So, you have to, for, buns and hot dogs, you go to,
Everything.
Costco or, how does that work?
So, before I started, I obviously went to different locations to see, what was the cheapest prices, and then you figure out where you're buying. So I have things I get at Costco, I have things I get at the Wholesale Club, I have things I get at London Cash and Carry.
Okay.
I go to the grocery store for ground beef. Mm-hmm. I get my buns from a bakery, from International Bakery.
Nice.
So it's just a matter of knowing where you get the best price for your stuff and getting it yourself. To have stuff delivered, you had to have a certain order, and I just didn't have the space to be able to accommodate large orders. And
so you would have to buy stuff in bulk, and a certain bulk item, and there's just no fridge space in a place like that.
Yeah. Say Gordon Foods, you'd have to have at least a $500 order. Well, yeah. And then I don't know their products, say my hot dogs and my sausages I get from the Wholesale Club.
Yeah.
And I don't change my products. There's things that I buy and it's consistent, and that's what keeps your customers coming back. So.
And you're knowing exactly what goes into everything too when you go out and buy your own products and stuff.
Exactly.
What's your favorite item on the menu?
I'd have to say it's our burgers, because that's what we get the most rave about, is our homemade burgers.
So why is it so delicious?
Just, it's flavorful. It's, I tell you how I make them, but
well, we can't give away the secret,
can we? Then you just make your own, right? So, but there's generally not a day that doesn't go by. I'm sorry, that people don't say oh my God, that's the best burger I've ever had. So
I can comment and say that your burgers are fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, and probably one of the best burgers I have ever had.
So the flavor,
Oh, the flavoring, I don't know what it is that you do with it, but keep it up.
Yes.
That's fantastic. We're getting into the quick round, where we talk about. I ask everybody these last few questions here because we got to have some sort of consistency, right? What is your favorite part of what you do?
I love people.
Yeah.
I love to cook and feed people, and I get to do that daily, and just, chatting with people, making connections with people. I said, I get reviews and people, and I don't know who these people are, but they say, that I was great and I have, great customer service. And so that's important to me, because building a business, it's not about, people have often asked me how many customers I have come through in a day, and I don't know, because to me that's not the important part. It's that every customer that came through enjoyed their food. So it's not about the numbers, it's about the satisfaction.
And to be perfectly honest with you, that's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
That is excuse me, that is how customer service used to be once upon a time, until the big bad corporate came into town. And then it was money. And that customer satisfaction, that one-on-one, that personableness, is that a word?
Personal, yeah.
personableness is now a word.
Exactly.
The personableness of just going to a local business, you build a rapport with that person. I can go to Walmart, and I'll tell you right now, I won't give a rat's ass about who's behind that counter, because they're probably only going to be there for 2 weeks. Right? Whereas, your truck has been there now going on its 3rd year, and you have repeat customers because you've built this rapport with people.
Yes.
They say, hey, Tom, how's the wife and kids? Did you get your deck built? Stuff like that. You don't get that at Walmart.
No. And you have to have it. Customers are number one because they are my paycheck, right?
Well, exactly. Now, on the other side of that scale, what's the worst part of the job? What's your least favorite thing about what you do?
Cleaning the grill. Not that and working in extreme temperatures.
Jeez, I can imagine. Like last summer was a doozy.
Yes.
And then, give our listeners an idea of how, what's your square footage like in where you're cooking?
It's a trailer, so it's 6 feet wide. I honestly don't really know. But it is
for
a
our
very
listener, she's
small
using her
space.
arms to give us an idea of what we're looking at.
Yeah, so you think of, a trailer, how narrow they are. So that's what the food truck is. It's very
Plus,
narrow.
you're adding counter space,
Counters,
all
grills,
that.
French
Now,
fryers.
you do have a little indoor setup, dining.
Yes.
That's probably 3, 4. How many tables are in there? On the inside. 2 on the inside.
Yeah.
And then on the outside, you have...
Right now, we don't have any tables with the COVID restrictions.
Okay.
I haven't purchased any patio furniture yet, so I've just kind of been waiting.
That's fair. I mean, it's not exactly cheap.
Most people
patio
come
furniture.
and take their food to go anyhow. So.
Well, exactly. I mean, what you're making, most of it is on the go anyways,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, but yeah, I can't even imagine being in, it's 39 degrees, it's humid outside, and then on top of that, you've got a hot grill going.
Yes.
How do you keep cool?
A lot of cloths.
Oh, jeez.
Get them cold, put them in the freezer, exchange them, and
oh, jeez.
drink lots of fluids.
Got to stay hydrated.
Yes. Yes.
If you could change anything about the industry, what would it be?
I don't think there's anything I could change. I mean, I wish things were cheaper, but you can't change that, so.
Not really, no. Supply and demand, right?
Yes.
And do you have any advice for those who want to own their own food truck or their own restaurant?
You just have to research. Recently, I've met a fella when I do my shopping. I keep running into this fella who's just purchased his own food truck, and and I tell him, call me, I'll tell you, So he was picking sausages, and I told him he had the box that I use at my trailer, and I said, they're really good, and I told him I slice them in half, and so I mean, I have no problem trying to help other people, to succeed, and would hope that somebody would give me tips as well. So
fantastic. All right, before we go today, we're gonna reach back. We're gonna reach way back to when we had a little teeny tiny Roxy Talbot. When you were growing up, obviously you had no idea you would be where you are now.
No.
You didn't think you'd be, leaving your you were scheduling, wasn't it?
Yes.
Leaving a lifetime of scheduling and communications and owning a food truck.
yes,
In probably one of the best locations in London. So obviously you didn't know that was coming.
no,
And obviously when you're a kid, you have dreams. Mm-hmm. Everybody, I mean, I wanted to be, there's so many different things that I wanted to be, but that's not me. What was your dream job? Like, what did you want to be when you were a little kid?
I didn't really have any dream job. I mean, like you just said, there were a lot of different things I wanted to do. At one point I wanted to be a policeman. I wanted to be a firefighter. I wanted to be football player. I wanted to be a stock car driver. But the one thing I've always loved to cook. I mean, since old enough to start cooking. So I think realistically, that's probably, I always wanted my own business, like my own restaurant, I guess you say. And I said, because, the first couple of years were obviously very stressful after starting Mamos, and my friends would say, well, this is your dream job. And I said, never in my life did I want to run a French fry truck, Yes, I wanted to cook for people, but, so, yeah, you be careful what you wish for.
So, now knowing that this was kind of something that you wanted to do, and, you kind of went one way, and then, like, steep curve into a complete opposite, different direction, and then you came back. Was it everything you dreamed of when you were first saying, I want to own a restaurant, I want to cook for people? Was it everything you dreamed of?
Not obviously right from the get-go.
Of course.
Because, the first few months were quite a haze for me.
I bet.
But, yeah, just, putting out good food and knowing people love it, and, people tell other people, and that's the satisfaction, that's your reward.
Fantastic. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure having you in studio today.
Thank you.
It's so nice to not have to worry about all these COVID restrictions, and actually being able to have people in studio is really nice for once. But yes, thank you for taking the time out of your one day a week that you have lots to do. And thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for listening. Don't forget to leave a review. And if you really liked us, one with 5 stars would be greatly appreciated. It really helps us out on Apple Podcasts and other streaming services for our listenership. Join me next week where I take the virtual trip to Arizona and meet with the folks at Invincible. Who are they? What do they do? Tune in next week with me, E.T., to find out. Until next time, cheers.